In this video, I am going to be showing you how I redid these 5 pieces. These 5 pieces can be found in my Amazon shop link. That link will be in the description box titled Dollhouse Accessories. Alright, so the first pieces we're going to do is going to be this kitchen set. So you're just going to look in my Amazon shop and find this kitchen set. Alright, so we're going to start with the stove oven combination here. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint the inside of the oven black. And then we're also going to go ahead and take 8 toothpicks, and we're also going to paint just the tips of those toothpicks. We're going to also paint those black as well. I'm just using regular, I call it crafting paint, but it's the acrylic paint that you can just get at Walmart or any crafting store. After painting the inside of the oven, do not forget to paint the inside of the door as well. Alright, so after you paint the inside of that oven and the toothpicks, tips and ends, we are going to move on to painting the handles. So we're going to do both the handles from the stove and oven, and also we're going to do the handles on the sink portion. So I am going to paint my handles gold because I think they need to match the faucets, which came in gold. You can paint your handles whatever color you want. I think I'm just going to go ahead and paint them gold just to match some of the other accents in the kitchen that I am doing. So like I said, you can paint those whatever color you want. I'm going to paint them gold, and I'm going to do it both on the oven stove piece and also this piece as well. Alright, and this is what it's going to look like with the gold handles. Now with this piece, you will notice I took off the black rectangles here at the top and the other circles on the other side of that red button. I wanted it to look more realistic and not so flat, so I did use some nail jewels for knobs, and then on this side I'm going to add some more for the knobs instead of having that flat look. But anywho, this is how they would look with the gold handles. So after we do our gold handles and our knobs, if we choose to redo the knobs, we're going to move on to the stove. That is what our black tips and ends of our toothpicks is going to be used for. We're going to do the top of the stove. So before I do the top of the stove, I am going to do the inside of where the burners are at. I'm going to paint inside of there gold because my tips of my toothpicks are black. If I use those, you're not really going to be able to tell that it's going to be a stove burner because the inside of this is black as well. So we're going to paint that gold inside. Okay, so now the insides are painted gold. After that, you are going to take your toothpicks and kind of crisscross them across the burners to make the actual grill of the burners. So you're just going to take one of those ends of your toothpicks. You're going to end up gluing it in here, and then you're going to take the other end of a toothpick and you're going to glue it crisscross. And you're going to end up with these like so. Once again, you're going to take one of the ends of the toothpick, make sure you cut it at that right length and glue it in here, and then you're going to take the other end and crisscross it. Alright, and then this is what it looks like with those toothpicks crisscross. Now the ones that I just glued in right here, where you can see where it's not all black because that's where the toothpick was cut, you can go ahead and take some paint, a permanent marker, whatever you have, and go ahead and paint that back black after the glue dries, just for a more cleaner look. And this is what it's looking like with the burners and the inside of the oven with the new knobs. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to make a grill plate for the side of the oven. So what I am using are bamboo sticks. These right here. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take one and you're going to take your oven, and you need to make sure that it's at least the length of, obviously, your oven. The toothpicks I have are not as big, are not long enough for this, so that's why I'm having to use these bamboo sticks. So you're just going to take one of those and mark the length of the oven on that bamboo stick, and then you're just going to cut that bamboo stick. Looks like about in half. And I'm going to do that to maybe about, let's see, we'll get about 8 of those and cut those up. All right, so we actually just needed 5 instead of 8. So we are going to place 5 side by side, the same length as the oven. Now these 5, we are going to have to end up cutting these down because they are a little too large. And we are going to end up going across with the other 5. We may need a little more. So yeah, we are going to end up cutting these down, maybe about, I would say half. Actually, if you just take one and do it like this, and then you just take your pan and mark to about where you're going to want that to end. So you are going to want a little hangover. So you're going to want it to be right about here. And you're going to cut these down smaller. So what I usually do is I usually go ahead and glue one on either ends first. And then I kind of find out where the middle is, and then I'm going to glue another one on in the middle. Don't worry about if you see the glue or not, because that will all be spray painted at the end. So go ahead and glue the 2 on the ends, find the middle. Once you find the middle, that is 3. And then the other 2, you're just going to, once again, find the middle of this one, put that one there, find the middle of this one, put that one there. And then this is what it's going to look like when that's all done. I did use hot glue so that it will be a faster set time. And once again, all of this glue is going to end up being spray painted at the end, so you won't be able to see any of that. So this is what it looks like at the end, and this is going to be the grill plate for the oven. I ended up spray painting my oven grill, metallic gold. And the next step you're going to do is you want this built before you do the next step, which is you're going to take 2 pieces of that bamboo stick, and you're going to paint them black, color them black. You're just going to make them black, and then you're going to end up putting those on the sides. That is where the grill is going to rest when it's inside of there. The only thing you want to make sure is that it doesn't go past. At the top of these ovens, there is like a little magnet up there that I painted black as well. You want to just make sure that your bamboo stick does not go past that stick, because if it goes past that, this is not going to close properly. So you're just going to take your other bamboo stick and you're going to make sure that it is aligned with that one. And the easiest way to do that is the reason why you want to make sure your grill is already built, so that you will be able to place it on there while you put the other side in. And that way you'll be able to make sure that it is straight across. Once those 2 bamboo sticks are in there and they are side by side and aligned perfectly, we're going to go ahead and paint the inside of this oven black again. Because we got some gold in there, we got some glue in there, the bamboo. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and repaint all of this black again. After the paint dries, you're going to put a layer of sealant on there, and I'm using Mod Podge. So that is what those white streaks are. That is a layer of Mod Podge sealant. I think it's semi-gloss, but do that right after the paint dries. You want to make sure you do have a sealant on there. And you're done to do it on all the surfaces that you painted black. So don't forget to do the door handle as well. All right, after you have sealed out with whatever sealant you choose, it is now complete. You can take your grill plate or whatever this thing is called and slide that on in there. And your oven/stove combo is now complete. All right, now with this piece, which is the sink portion, we are going to tape off the sink. I've already done that. And then we're going to paint that gold. So because I decided to use this metallic gold spray paint, I went and covered up the whole front of this, and I sprayed painted with that metallic gold to give it that metallic gold look. All right, now this is just one of the drawers from the sink section. All the drawers fit, you know, in the sink section and as well as the stove section. So, you know, all the drawers fit the same, but these are out because I was working on this. So I am going to be using one of the drawers to do our next. So I do have some forks, some spoons, and knives. So what we're going to do is we're going to make compartments inside of the drawer for the forks, spoons, and knives. All right, so what you're going to need is just a piece of white tag board. I just ripped this off. And then your hot glue gun. So you can do these compartments one of two ways. You can either have one compartment completely in the front and then the two other ones in the back. So it'll be basically looking like this. 1, 2, 3. Or you can have the third compartment in the back, so it'll be 1, 2, 3. That's the way I'm going to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to leave about a third for the compartment in the back. So you're just going to end up cutting right here, straight across. So we'll start with that first. And here you have a third of the compartment back here. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put this inside here, and you're just going to cut along where the depth of you're going to cut the depth of, how do you say that? You're going to cut the depth of the drawer. So you're going to end up cutting basically right across here. And looks close enough, right? A little too tall. So I cut cricket there. I'm trying to cut and record, and this is not going too well. All right, looks like we got it right there. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hot glue gun, and I think we're going to go ahead and glue it onto another piece of paper and then cut it out again because it's kind of thin. So let's go ahead and we want another piece cut out. Go ahead and glue that on, and then you're just going to cut that off because that was kind of thin there. This is just going to give it a thicker part here. All right, and then that's the way it was. All right, then you're just going to put some hot glue on the bottom here and try to get as close to the middle as you can and glue that bad boy in. Next, you're going to do it on the back side. So it's going to be cutting about right here, a little more to where it's fitting inside of here. Oh. The most important thing is that even though there's some space over here, it's okay because you're going to try and get it as far in the middle as you can, and then you're just going to cut another, and that's going to be way too tall, another piece to fit in here, making sure you don't see it at the top, and that's perfect. Then we're just going to, we're going to do the same. We're going to glue it down to another piece just to be thicker there, and then cut it out. And then once again, you're just going to super glue, and this is going to be up against that one. And there you have 3 compartments. So here we have our knives, our butter knives actually. And we're just going to put those back there. Here we have our spoons. And let's just say these are up here. And here we have our forks. And let's say these are right here. All right, so now that both of these pieces are done, we can go ahead and move to the backsplash. So for the backsplash, I am going to use some bricks that I previously made. If you have not watched my making of the bricks video, I will post that link in the description box. Go ahead and watch that video to see how the method I use to make these bricks. So I'm just going to use these bricks for the backsplashes for these 2 pieces. Alright, so boom, here they are with the backsplash completed. Now we're moving on to this hutch, and once again, you can purchase this in my Amazon shop. Alright, so you're going to start with this one with painter's tape. I've already did that. The only thing that is not going to be painter's tape is the part that I'm going to be redoing, which is the top surfaces of like the shelves or wherever you would put something on top of. That is the area I'm going to be redoing. So I am going to do acrylic pouring on this. Now, I've never done acrylic pouring. So if you have done acrylic pouring and you're like, she's doing it all wrong, it's because I've never done it, and I'm just going to do what I think it is. And I mean, I don't think you can really mess up acrylic pouring anyways. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do acrylic pouring. And like I said, if it looks like I'm doing it wrong, I mean, you've done it before, I don't think you can really mess it up. But I'm just going to do what I think you're supposed to do, and we're going to see what we get. All right, so we got a little cup here. We got some black paint and some white paint. So I'm just gonna take the lid off and I'm going to pour some white paint in here. Okay, and I'm going to pour some black paint in here. And I'm going to pour some more white paint in here. And a little more black paint in here. And I do mean just a little bit on top there. All right, now I'm just going to pour. Okay, I think I need more black paint. Or how about I just start? Let's see. Because that did not go as planned. I think I needed more. How y'all be doing this? Okay. And then we're going to do some more white. And then all that paint drips down. And you move it all around. Wait, need more dripping here. All right, we got a cool little marble effect going on over here. Let's put some more black over here. More black over here. How is it looking, y'all? Like crap? Let's keep moving it around town. Okay, we got a marble going. Now the back looks cool. If only the front will cooperate and do what the back did, I think we'll be in business here. Let's put a little more black. Oh wait, I think they just be taking the paint that's already like down here and they just kind of do that, right? Is that what they be doing to cover up those other pieces? Like that? Is that what they be doing, the professionals? Because like I said, I'm not a professional at this point. Never done it with anything. Okay, that looks cool. Let's get back there. Let's get back there. Let's put something back there. Let's get some more paint back in there. So basically, I just want all the wood. Okay, so what I basically was saying before my camera fell down is I basically just wanted to cover up all the wood coloring up, including on the bottom. So like you see me using my glove, that's what I did all the way around until there was no more wood coloring showing. And I mean, look at it. It looks pretty cool to me. I think after I take the blue tape off, it's gonna look pretty cool. And like I thought, I don't think you can really mess up the paint pouring. I mean, this is what we got. Not knowing, or not ever doing it before. I'm not going to say not knowing what we were doing because, I mean, is there anything to it other than pouring paint onto the surface and moving it around? I don't think there is. You don't have to be a professional acrylic paint pouring person, if that's even a thing. But yeah, this looks pretty cool to me. So we're going to let that dry for about a month or so. I'm really not sure how long this takes to dry, but it's just so thick on there. And then I got some drips I gotta get. Actually, is that on the tape? I guess I don't have to get the drips on the tape, but this is pretty thick on there, so I'm not sure how long they be taking to dry, but we're going to set this in a safe place and let that dry out. Definitely give it at least 48 hours before we come back and do a sealant on this. I definitely would give it at least 48 hours. It may be longer, but yeah, it looks pretty cool to me. I don't think like I said, I don't think you can mess this up if you've never done it before. I don't think there's really a method to this madness, but yeah, there's that. All right, so it has been 48 hours and it is completely dry. So now what I'm going to do with the painter's tape still on, I am now going to go ahead and seal it with Mod Podge. Now it's very important to keep that painter's tape on if you are going to stain your wood, because if you do get some of that Mod Podge onto the wood, that stain is not going to adhere to the wood because that sealant is going to be on there. So we're going to go ahead and seal it with Mod Podge with the painter's tape still on there, and then we'll be back when the Mod Podge dries. All right, so the Mod Podge is all done drying. So now we can go ahead and take the tape off. And this is what it's looking like with the tape off. Now you can leave it unfinished as is. You can paint it, or you can stain it. I'm going to end up staining mine. All right, y'all, so boom, it is complete. And as you can see, I did make the handles gold as well. But this is what it's looking like. It's all been stained. I did not stain the inside, as you can see. I just stained what was on the outside. You can go ahead and stain the inside as well, but you don't need to, since no one's going to really be looking at you. So here it is, completely stained and finished. Alrighty, so the next piece is actually a shower. So I bought this shower and my people don't fit in it. It's too small, they're too tall, it just ain't gonna work. And of course I bought it before I bought my people, and I wasn't able to return it after I, checked it with my people. It's just not going to work. So of course I didn't want to just throw it out, and I'm thinking, you know what, this actually makes a really good pantry. So what I did was I took all of that stuff out, and that's what we're going to use as the pantry. So the pieces that I did take out, I will be reusing those in the dollhouse, so be on the lookout for those. This is what you get when you take all of that out. You are going to have some pieces where that glue, whatever glue they used, it kind of stuck to the paint, and when you took those pieces out, it kind of took the paint with it. So we are going to have to repaint it, and we're just going to repaint it white. So this white paint is literally a different color white paint. So when I say repaint, I literally mean to repaint everything, just so that white paint matches the background and you're not just painting little patches of it. Repaint all of it. So you're repainting white with white, basically. That's what we're doing. All right, so this is what you get when you repaint the white with white. It's all white now, and basically what we're going to put in here is some shelving, and then of course you'll be able to put your food items inside the pantry. So while that is drying, we're going to move on to how we're going to do the doors. So I do want my pantry doors to have that frosted glass look that you see on some of the pantry doors in some homes. And then some of them have like the word pantry, and then some actually have like a little picture with it. So that is actually the look that I am going to go for with these, with this pantry and the doors. All right, so I am going to use some Elmer's white glue to get the frosted look onto the glass. Now this is not real glass, this is plastic. I think I seen where people were using like the Elmer's glue on their real house, and the row house windows, and it was, you know, it's actually glass, and it worked for the glass. So I'm going to try it on this plastic and hope I get the same look. Now I probably should have tried this before showing y'all, but hey, what would be the fun in that, right? You guys are seeing this as I am doing it. Never done it before. So yeah, I think I'm going to do it on the inside instead of doing it on the outside. Because for some reason I think it will peel because this is plastic, but we will see. So yeah, we're just going to paint the glue onto the inside of the door. Okay, so we're just going to open this up and let's see. I don't really have a lot in here. I'm just going to start painting it on. So it is Elmer's glue. It's white. So if you get some on the door, like the actual wood, that's not going to matter. We're just going for a frosted look once it's dry. You want to try and we're not painting, I guess we're gluing. You want to try and make this glue, put this glue on as evenly as possible. And that one's done. Now let's do this side. I'm gonna put a little more on there because I know this first part got a little more, so let's just put a little more on here. All right, and then we're gonna let that dry. And we're gonna see what it looks like once it's dried. Once again, I did do it on the inside and not on the out. Oh, I mean, looking at it now, it looks pretty good. Hey. Like I said, I did not know how this was going to look because it's plastic and not actual glass. But it looks pretty good. So let's leave that there to dry. And then once it's dry, we'll see if it's peeling or what it's doing after it's dry. But it's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is what it's looking like after one coat of glue. And it does give it a frosted look. As you can see, it's not as clear back there, but not all of the plastic, not all of the glue adhere to some parts of the plastic, as you can see. So I'm going to add another coat on both sides because this side you can really see some of the glue did not stick in some of the spots. So we're going to add a second coat of glue and let that dry. This is after one coat. And this is after two coats. All right, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to actually put the sign that says Pantry onto the frosted glass. You'll see some doors that got the frosted glass has like the word Pantry on it, and then some actually has pictures with the word. So that's what we're going to do now. Now, there are two different ways you can do this. I am going to show you the easiest way first, and then I'm going to show you the, I wouldn't say more difficult way, but I'm going to show you the way that I'm going to do it last. Before I show you how I'm going to do this, I am going to show you these cute little Coca-Cola bottles. Now, these are going to be at the bottom of the pantry. Now, I'm doing this to show you that even when this is closed, you'll still be able to tell that there are Coca-Cola bottles at the bottom, right? The easiest way to do these frosted glass with the pictures or with the word Pantry on them is to go ahead and print out, you know, one of the little pantry doors. You got to make sure that when you're printing it out, it does say frosted glass, because once you glue that in there, it's just basically going to look like, you know, frosted glass. Looks cute, right? But the only thing is that you are not going to be able to see, that there is anything in there if you have a piece of paper covering it up. I want to be able to see something behind there, so I'm not going to do it that way. I am going to do it a different way, just so that I'm able to actually see behind the frosted glass. So we're going to take that out. And what you're going to need is a Sharpie, a white Sharpie pen, or if you want to do it in black, get a black Sharpie pen. But I'm going to do mine in white. So with that piece of paper, you're just going to want to tape that down on the inside, because we're going to write the words on the outside. So you want that piece of paper taped on the inside. So after that's taped on, remember you're taping it on the inside, not the outside. You're going to go ahead and use your fine point Sharpie pen in white, whatever color you want, and you're just literally going to trace the print that you see here. And then after you're done tracing, you're just going to go ahead and take that tape off. Make sure you don't touch the top. You still want that to dry, because it is a Sharpie paint pen. So it's not like a regular Sharpie that, you know, dries on contact. This is a paint pen, so you want to leave it there and try not to touch the front while it's sitting there to dry. You're just going to end up taking this off, untaping this from the back side here, and you're just going to repeat the process on this side if you want it on both sides. All right, y'all, so boom, here are the pantry doors. Next, we are going to do the shelves. So I'm thinking I'm going to do 3 shelves, so one on the top, bottom, in the middle. And in order to do this, I am going to need whatever I'm going to have on the bottom. I'm going to put that in there so that I would know what height I'm going to want my bottom shelf to be. So we got that in there. I think I'm just going to end up using some popsicle sticks. So we don't want this to be too high. Yeah, we don't want it to be too low. So we're just going to put that a little bit above those bottles for the bottom shelf. And what you're just going to do is you're just going to cut off the round part of the popsicle stick and kind of place that in there. And then you're just going to end up measuring how far it is to the end here. And then you're just going to cut it there. After you cut your first piece, you're just going to cut 5 additional pieces the same size. I am going to end up staining mine, but you're just going to end up with 6 identical pieces. And if you're staining them, go ahead and stain them. If you're painting it, go ahead and paint it. All right, I got my pieces all stained here. So your next step you're going to do is you're just going to flush one of the shelves against this back wall and against this side wall, and you're going to super glue it in place. So like I said, you already want whatever you're going to have on the bottom in place, so you know where to put your bottom shelf. So next you're going to go ahead and put another item in place so that you know where to put your next shelf height-wise. So I have that as something that will be inside the pantry, and also this. And it looks like the cereal box is a little higher, so we're going to use this cereal box as our guide to place these shelves in, so that we're not putting them too low, so that we'll have enough room to put our items in. So you're going to use the cereal box as a guide, and you're going to put your shelf in, and then you're going to mark under the shelf. So it's about right here. We're going to mark under the shelf. Do you see that? There's your mark. So when you glue this in place, you're going to set this to the side. I'll just show you here. You're basically going to set this to the side and glue it on top of that line. So you're just going to put glue on the sides here and on the bottom here. And you're going to literally place this on top of that line you made. Get all your cobwebs off. And then you'll be able to see, it's a perfect height and your cereal box is fitting. You're going to do the exact same thing on this side, only you're just going to put it on top of the other shelf. So you're going to super glue it on top of the other shelf. I didn't actually put super glue on the shelf inside. I just did it the same way. I just put it on the side and on the back and super glued it in place to here in the wall. And we're going to do the same at the top there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, I already cleaned it up, which was the super glue that was like on the walls, and you can see some more there. We're going to clean that up. And after we clean up all the super glue, we are going to repaint it white. Now, we never put a sealant in the inside of here. This is why we never put a sealant, is because we were going to have to go back and paint it. And we were also going to have to put glue these shelves in. So that's why we never did put a sealant in here. So we're going to clean up some of the glue, and then we're going to repaint it white. Now I'm just using this, I think it's called a sparring or a paring knife. I'm just using this to clean up the glue from the walls. And like I said, after I clean up the glue, I am going to repaint it white. So this is what it's looking like before the sealant goes on, with the glue cleaned up as much as I could and repainted white. All right, y'all, so boom, here is the pantry. We went ahead and sealed the inside, so it is now complete. And here it is. Make sure that you do put your taller items on the bottom shelf, and then we do have our smaller items on the top shelf because there's not as much room from here to here as there is from here to here and here to here. And here it is filled up. Here it is closed. You can see there are items in there. Some of them you can't really tell what it is. That is that frosted glass look that I wanted. So there it is. Oh, right, and then our next piece is actually not a kitchen piece, but it's the living room piece, which is going to be this TV. It's the series Friends, season 4. Now, I had bought mine before the actor Matthew Perry passed away. I have been looking at Amazon, and they are flying off, the floors. So hurry up and go to my Amazon shop and go ahead and get you one of these. Like I said, I had bought mine before the actor Matthew Perry has died, so there may be a very limited selection of these. All right, so with this piece, it was very short height-wise. So the furniture that I got for my people, when they're sitting on it, this TV is just way too low. So it needed some more height to it. Plus, I mean, look at the bottom of it. It's not very, appealing. It just looks, fake or whatever. Even though this TV actually works, I will show you that at the end of this video. But I just wanted this to actually be wood, and then I needed some height to it. So I am using this box. Let's see what this is. This is from Miniature Food Pieces that I bought. I'm just going to use this box because it actually ended up being the perfect height that I needed, which wasn't, you know, too much more. Probably like it just needs to be doubled the height that it was. All right, so we are going to be using this wood. It's just crafting wood. I will put it in the description box, the link to get it. It's going to be titled Doll House Building Materials. So I will post that in the description box to get the materials that I use. I call this crafting wood. So this is what we're going to be using. Right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take your box and you're going to take your TV and you're going to set them on there. If you don't have a box, you can just use this crafting wood to make your own box or entertainment center. You do not need a box to go off of. Now, this next part, I kind of forgot to record it, so we're going to be stepping back a little bit. Ignore the side and the back here. So anyways, you're going to take your box and your TV, you're going to lay it flat down, and you're going to cut out 2 identical pieces for the front and the back. So you're just going to trace around it when it's down. You're just going to basically, so you're working with an edge here. You're going to go off the edge of the box because the TV is smaller. And you're just going to trace around it. So this will be the top. Make your mark there and cut the width of, basically the width of the box, but add the TV to get the height. All right, and then you're going to cut that piece out, and then you're going to use that piece for the back. We are just going to glue that to the box. Do not glue it to this, just glue it to the box. Now, once you get your back on, you'll be able to do the sides by simply gluing the side down onto the crafting wood. Now I've already done one side, and that is what I did. I just glued the side down to the crafting wood, and then I cut around it. That is the easiest way to get your sides. So we're gonna do it on this side as well. Now for the front, if you want to mimic doors on the front, you do not, and I repeat, you do not want to glue this down, but you are going to want to just trace around it. So if you want to mimic doors, don't glue it down. If you don't care and you want just a box looking thing and not really wanting it to look like an entertainment center, go ahead and glue it down. Knock yourself out. But we want it to look like an entertainment center, so we are going to go ahead and put it down. I like to use the straighter edge for like the top here, and then you're just going to trace around where you see, trace around here, the back, and then this side as well. All right. As you can see, I did not go to school to be a professional tracer, but anywho, after you trace that, you're going to cut it out. All right, so with this piece, you're going to measure it, and then you're going to cut straight down the middle to get your 2 separate faux doors for your entertainment center. Okay, now you got your 2 pieces, and then all you're going to do is glue those 2 pieces on to here. Obviously, there's not going to be anything on the top glued. It's just going to be just like the rest around it, glued onto this box. Notice how I don't have this inside of there, and I'm not gluing anything onto this. In case I do need to take this out to change the batteries, you do not want anything glued onto this piece. All right, now once those 2 pieces are glued on there, you now have the base for your TV. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a top. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a top where I can easily pop on and take off. So, first what we're going to do is we're going to measure the length here and the width from the back of the TV to here. And then we're going to cut out a piece of wood with those measurements. So once again, we're just going to measure from the back to the front here and cut out a piece with the length from, or the width from here to here and the length from here to here. Cut out a piece of wood, and that's going to be the back. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same for the front. Now you're going to want to make sure your TV is all the way to the front before you do this. I'm just going to use a popsicle stick since I think it's a little more easier, and we're going to do the same. We're going to cut a piece from the length, from here to here, and the width is going to be a little bit different. We are going to have some overhang for the width from here to here. We're going to have a little overhang, but first we're just going to cut a piece from here to here, which we have right here for that. So with the back piece and the front piece, in order to connect those two, we're going to use some popsicle sticks again, and we're going to basically glue on a piece of the popsicle side onto here. I got a hole in my glove. We're going to glue on the popsicle stick on this side and this side as well, and that is going to hold the back and the front together, and then you're just going to do it on this side as well, and then you'll be able to lift the top up and put it back down. So we're going to do that now. All right, and here it is. You're able to take it off, to take this out. Nothing is glued onto here. Put it back on in when in use, and then you can put the top back on with these leftover wood pieces. I was able to make some handles. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stain all of this. We're going to paint these black, and then we are going to put it all together. Once again, you're not going to glue this top on. You want it to be able to lift up and put back on. So let's go ahead and stain it and paint these handles black, and then put these handles on the front here. All right, and the moment you've all been waiting for. Boom! Here is the entertainment center. I did put the living room pieces in here. I still have to stain this bookshelf and the coffee table to match, of course, the entertainment center. But there it is. Now the TV did come with this cute little remote control. So to turn it on, you're just going to press the power. And it also has channels to change from episode to episode. It also has volume control. And I'm actually going to turn this down because it does play the Friends music. And I'm not sure if I'm able to play that, but it does have the volumes on here as well. There's also controls on the back of the TV, but as you can see, the TV does work. It does show season 4 of Friends. So there is that. Now I am going to turn it up a little bit so that you can just... Okay, did you hear that? Great. You know it has volume. Oh, and I guess I can actually go ahead and turn it up. So it does play season 4, like I said. You can, it actually turns up pretty loud. That's as loud as it goes. And then you can turn it down all the way off, down, or mute, I guess. So yeah, this is a TV. This is a little remote that comes with it. And then to turn it off, all you're going to do is press the power again. And this is how it turns off. And there you have it. Alright, so if you like what you have seen, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to miss the next video that I post, go ahead and hit that bell. Also, if you wanted to see how these kitchen pieces are incorporated into the kitchen, those videos will be posted at a later date. I am currently still working on the dollhouse, and those videos are also posted. Thanks for watching.